Hey guys, Dean here. We are going to do another video on chaining. So we went through some of the equipment that I like to use, some of the different things, honey goo, all that happy stuff. We're going to do a little tutorial today on doing some chaining, and I'm going to explain this load here that we got. This is not one that I'm pulling. Obviously, you see it's a different kind of trailer and stuff like that, but I didn't have any really cool shit on the back of my trailer to make a wicked video for you guys. Maybe one of these days when we got something real cool in here, we'll do it that way too. Anyways, what this driver has done is not incorrect. It's just not the way I would do it. I think there's a better way. If you look, he's got a strap with the board here. What he's trying to do is prevent upward motion. So prevent this object from lifting up in the air during transportation. He does have his chains on with a ratchet binder. You can see it comes through and it's going forward. It's got a nice tight bite on it here, so it can't slide side to side. It can't slide forward or backwards. So he's got one on the front, one on the back. He's also got one of the straps on the back doing the exact same thing, preventing that upward motion. So would it pass an inspection at the MOT? I think so, probably, yeah. You're probably gonna be good. I don't see a problem with it. How would I do it if it was gonna be me doing it? Personally, there are some I-rings up on the top of the load where I can put a chain through there. I would go through that, and down here I would have 4 chain and 4 ratchet binders, which is going to be ultimate security. There's also 2 of these on the back of this object as well. That to me would be a more secure, better way of doing it. But again, this would probably pass an inspection, and I don't have to pull it. So how do I use chains and binders and ratchets? So this guy obviously doesn't have any honey goo because his are very rusty. But let's undo this guy first. So we have a ratchet binder. On a ratchet binder, again, this guy doesn't lube his up very good, so they don't want to come out very far. This one does. I like to keep my ratchet all the way out as far as I can, so I have as much bite as I can on the chain. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure that I get the one as close to the object as I can, because I need as much bite as I can this way. Then I'm going to pull the chain up through and you get it as tight as I can, and I will put the ratchet on that way. We have a little clip here that clips forward and back. So this way, when I clip it forward, it's now going to start tightening the ratchet. So we'll tighten that ratchet all the way up. You can go nice and tight with these guys. The nice thing about the ratchet binders is it's not the old school where you're worried about breaking your jaw, and you can get it nice and tight. If I don't have a ratchet binder and all I have is the old school kind, then we'll do that as well. So take this guy back off. Let's say I was going to go here, but my chain ran out and I don't have enough to get through. That's where I would use something like a helper chain. Here I could go, we're gonna pretend the strap's not here just to make this easier, but I could actually hook onto the helper chain here, right? So instead of hooking onto the chain, I would be hooking onto this, and that's still legal and will save you a big headache sometimes. One thing we want to remember is not to start with it down in this position, because you're not going to have anything to tighten it down with. So I have to make sure he's in the upper position. Now I'm going to do the same thing, hook on here. The difference with this and the other one, where I'm trying to pull that chain as tight as I can, I don't want to pull it quite as tight as I can. I want to stay back 1 or 2. That way when I pull up, I can see how much bite I need here. I still have quite a bit of room to move. Sometimes I can go a little bit more, but if you go too hard, you won't be able to close the binder. So what I like to do is I grab my load bar. They actually have ones that have pieces for the binder. It'll have a little piece on the end. Mine doesn't, so I just put mine through the end of this guy here. I pop that little guy off. I make sure I stay back out of the way, and I give this guy a nice tight pull there, and once again, we're nice and tight on there. When I want to get that guy off, I'm just going to stand out of the way, give this guy a quick pull like that, and that's it. Just like that. Whenever you do it, especially when you're using the bear traps, when I'm pulling on that handle downwards, do not stand anywhere near this bar, because if for whatever reason your hand slips and that bar goes back up, it's gonna crack you in the jaw. I don't know how many guys I know that have shattered their jaw, have disfigured themselves for life, massive scars and surgeries and stuff to try to repair the damage that they did. Never, ever, ever use your foot and try to push it down with your foot. You know, if you can't, get a bigger bar. They have other bars that'll actually fit over this one. It's called a helper, and it'll give you more leverage on pulling the handle down. Get somebody else more experienced if you're not sure. Never take safety at risk with this, because it only takes one time and big damage. It doesn't seem like much, but there's a lot of force on these things. So definitely be careful, especially if you're using the old style. If you do use the old style, when it's on there and we've pulled it down and it's locked in place here on the bear trap, some have a safety strap that locks it on. If you don't, always use a bungee cord. So go through with a bungee cord, go through a couple times, tie it onto something so that this can't pop up during travel. Even though it seems like it's really, really tight on there, these roads are crazy. Bouncing around, it's bouncing like crazy. Next thing you know, this thing pops loose and now your chain is loose. Now your load is insecure. Worst case scenario, the load shifts and you have big problems. Other worst scenario is you get busted by the MTO and they just love to hand out tickets. You know, I shouldn't talk bad about them. They're out there doing the same thing we are, right? They're just doing their job. They're trying to make sure that we're moving down the road safely. We always hate them because they give us tickets. But if you're safe and you do everything right, you're probably not going to run into too many problems. Try to remember those few things. For the love of all humanity, keep your stuff lubed up good. That's good right now. It's 0 degrees. It's not that cold. When it starts getting colder and it's ice and snow, that binder that I was using showing his is not going to work. It's going to seize up and he's gonna hate his life in the wintertime. Mine's gonna work really good. I hope you guys learned something. Again, it's my take on it. You guys probably have 1,000 different ways to do it. Please leave the comments down below. I love reading them. I try to get back to them as much as I can. Somebody actually texted me on my Facebook Messenger. We were talking back and forth and he said something about his message. I said, well, I sure hope I responded to him. And he goes, actually, you didn't. So, it was good. I got to respond. I got to apologize, but if I don't get back to you, you know, you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. My Insta, somebody hacked it, so don't even try to get me on there. You're gonna get somebody you don't even want to deal with. Hit me up there or leave the messages below. Don't forget to like us, love us, subscribe us, hit the bell, hit that little blue thumbs up. You guys stay safe out there. As I always say, keep the shiny side up, the rubber side down, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.